On today's podcast, we're going to start out with the immigration situation in Texas. Apparently, Biden wants to start letting all the immigrants in the middle of an emergency. He thinks it's a good idea. Okay. Second of all, we are going to be chit-chatting about, wait, what? AOC agrees with me? What? She also thinks we should investigate Cuomo in New York? Okay. All right. So apparently something that me and AOC agree on. Also, vaccines. Some more vaccine stuff has been popping up. Apparently, in Israel, they're requiring people to get vaccinated in order to go into a grocery store. So, what you're seeing there might be coming to America soon. Welcome to America.
They're coming to America. Every time that flag's unfurled.
And on the gun corner, we will talk about two bills that are being introduced. One of them is an insurance mandate. So basically, fuck you, you better get some insurance or else you can't buy or own guns. And the second one is smart guns that they want to have every gun sold in America with, if once this bill passes, within 5 years, it has to be a smart gun. So stay tuned and check this out. Transmitting from sunny Southern California, capital of entertainment, beautiful ladies, and great whiskey. You're listening to the Hot OTM podcast where we discuss politics, guns, entertainment, music, and all the controversial topics we can find. Here are your hosts, Hector Robles and Christian Mejia. Welcome. We are here again. Wow, this thing is moving fast. This is the 12th episode now. On today's podcast, we're going to start out with the immigration situation that's going on in Texas. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Biden wants to release immigrants that he wants to process into Texas while the whole state is in like a state of emergency. Basically, Bruno Lozano, the mayor of Del Rio, Texas, was pleading with President Joe Biden to hold off on plans to release any immigrants into the city. He's basically saying that they don't have the resources to take care of the immigrants due to their, continued, the extreme weather and the emergency conditions. So I almost feel that Biden is purposely shitting on their parade. I think, what's that saying, that he's pissing on their back and telling them it's raining? So I really think that that's kind of the case. Like, I think Biden is pissed off at Texas. So this is his way to kind of get back. Like, okay, you're going to not go for us? Okay. We're just going to go ahead and fuck up your state. Because why would anybody in this situation release all these immigrants into the community? And then on top of it, the concerns to make sure that they're all vaccinated, so they're able to, go into the American communities. And on top of that, if they do vaccinate them, then they're just basically saying, fuck the American people, let's go ahead and vaccinate the immigrants, which that's not America first, bro. That's fucking everyone else first. I don't know if you've heard what's going on with Biden, where he's giving $4 billion to poorer nations for vaccinations. First of all, he's not giving this money out of his own pocket. So this isn't him being charitable. He's giving your money and my money to these other fucking countries in the middle of the worst pandemic that we've ever experienced, allegedly. And when every small business is shut down and this whole country's in a fucked up situation, he's saying, I'm going to pull that money out of your pocket and my pocket, and I'm going to give it to other people. You want to be charitable? Do it with your own fucking money. Don't do it with my money. But oh my God, man, I don't understand. I don't understand how anybody voted for this stupid dumb fuck. I really don't. With that being said, I think he purposely wants to fuck everything up. I think he wants payback on Texas, since people were moving from California to Texas, and he's like, okay, you guys, I'm gonna give you a little taste of what it is when you go against the bully. But anyway, I just found it pisses me off, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, I have to throw this out. I've got to throw this out. Ted Cruz. Obviously, the guy did some stupid shit. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, you don't leave the captain doesn't leave the ship to make sure he's safe. So definitely a fuck up. But this guy's retarded without a doubt. But it's Republicans and Democrats, and I think that what I find interesting is that if you look on the news, they're only shitting on the Republicans when none of the Democrats have done anything at this point. Like everyone's. Have you noticed how they're super quiet about any negative things about the Democrats? It's because our media is completely bought out. But one of my friends, he put a Facebook post, and if he's looking or if he's watching, Soraya, I saw your post, and basically he put up on his Facebook post, it said that believing a politician is like believing a stripper when she whispers in your ear that she loves you. So I thought it was pretty funny. And I have to agree with him. I mean, it's Republican or Democrat. You have to understand that. All right. So we're going on to our next topic here. Here we go. This is kind of slightly, it's slightly kind of out of the politics, but I wanted to bring it up because I was a big fan of the Fat Boys when I was a little kid, because I was a fat boy myself. And it looks like a Fat Boy member, Prince Marky D, died at 52. So I think that was announced like on this Thursday, February 18th, 2021. So I thought I'd just kind of mention that real quick, just in passing. I don't know if any of you guys were a Fat Boy fan at all, but if you are, a little bit of sad news there. He was only 52 years old, actually. That's kind of crazy, but make me think about my cholesterol. All right, we're going to go ahead and move over to AOC. I despise this bitch. I mean, I vomit in my mouth when I say her name. That's how much I don't like this lady. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. And I have to give her props on this situation. She wants an investigation done on Cuomo, the New York governor, and which I think is great, because I do think that he was doing some fucked up shit to the people in New York. Apparently, the New York State Assembly, the GOP, is looking to form an impeachment commission. The New York State Democrats may strip the governor of emergency powers by next week. And this is a Democratic Attorney General of New York put out a report stating that the death toll was underreported by the thousands by Cuomo, which is basically saying that he's lying. So I think that there should be definitely an investigation, and AOC was calling for the investigation, which is another Democrat, which, like I said, I think it's a good thing that these thieves are calling each other out. So something pretty interesting with that as well. The FBI is even involved. The FBI is investigating Cuomo. Their admin, saying that their admin purposely withheld nursing home death toll data. So even the FBI is involved in this situation. So it's gonna be pretty big. Like I said, I don't really like that lady, but when she's right, she's right. I mean, the guy's a piece of shit. Something else I was talking to a couple of my buddies about, the Capitol. Why do we still have thousands, not 100, not 500, thousands of soldiers at the Capitol? What's going on? I mean, at first they said it was the Proud Boys. I haven't seen any of those Proud Boys anywhere. So what are they keeping safe? I don't know. My thoughts on this was, and this is just kind of my theories, I guess, is, are they planning to push some shit that's going to cause the American people to be really pissed off and try to come after them? Maybe, I don't know. But there's no hostility happening there. Do you really need 10,000 soldiers at the Capitol? Or, I mean, why would you need that many soldiers? They don't have, they have, I think they have more soldiers at the Capitol than they do in Afghanistan or Iraq. And they actually have like terror cells that are working there in the whole fucking country. So why do you need all these soldiers in that one city, around that one building? Or I guess it'd be, the Capitol buildings. But anyway, it just doesn't make any sense unless you're expecting to do some shit to rile up the fucking nest of the bee nest, which is what I'm thinking that's going to happen. So get ready for probably some fucked up shit to happen. I don't know exactly what's going to be happening, but I think they're preparing for something else that they're not telling us. And I know I always bring preparedness into our kind of debates, or not our debates, our discussions per se. One of the things that I always mention, is to have water, food, silver, and things like that, right? I think this whole situation with the snow down in Texas really put it into perspective, because it showed me where I have my holes of my preparedness. A lot of people didn't have water, and if they did have water, they didn't have anywhere to cook it, and if the water froze. So, I mean, it's a lot of like shit, like holy shit, man. I need to make sure I get better prepared, but I think it put it into perspective. And also, I think the grocery stores were running out of food. So it's like, you better have some food, because when shit happens, that food's not going to be there. And it tells you how fragile the whole system is. These grocery stores may look like they're full, but if everyone rushes the grocery store at the same time, there's no milk, there's no meats, there's nothing to eat, and then you're fucked. So again, I just want to push the whole preparedness to make sure that you prepare yourself, because this shit can come to your home. Who the fuck thought in Texas that they were going to have a snow situation like that? Nobody ever thought that. And you're not going to be able to know what's coming for you or what emergency is going to happen to you. It may just be that you get laid off, and then you're laid off and you have no money. So even if the grocery store's there, if you get laid off and you have no money, if you're prepared, you at least have extra food in the cabinets. So you kind of hedge your bets a little bit there. I mean, and then if some sort of disaster does happen, you're prepared for that too. So I don't know. I can't push this enough. Make sure you prepare yourself and your family, because the government's not going to be there when you need them. Not only did the Texas thing kind of show us that, but also when Katrina happened, it really shows you that the government doesn't have as much power as you think they have. Even with your protection, make sure you have ammo, make sure you have your guns to protect yourself and your family, because the cops aren't coming. If some shit like that happens, even if they want to, they can't help everybody. There's only a few cops and there's hundreds of thousands of people. So they say that when cops are minutes away, what is it? If you need help, seconds away, cops are minutes away, or something like that. But you're the first line of response of protection for your family. So make sure you get yourself set up. In regards to the silver, again, it's still really difficult to find silver right now. The premiums that they're putting on are pretty high. If you don't have any, I would suggest, and this is just a suggestion, this is not advice, I would suggest you might want to pick up a couple of coins so you have them. But if you do have silver, I would probably suggest you hold on until these premiums come down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, preparedness, number one, Texas is a great example of how you need to prepare for your individual area differently than other people. Having a generator in Texas would have helped substantially, at least to make sure that you can turn on your oven or you can do stuff like that. Maybe having propane, different things to make sure you're prepared. But like I said, nobody knew that storm was going to be like that in Texas, but it opens our eyes for us to try to be as independent as possible. Maybe even just have a solar charge, like a solar charger for our phone, something like that. But anyway, that was kind of what I wanted to bring up. Now we are going into the gun corner. Okay, to start out, this is some fucked up shit they're trying to introduce right now into legislation. Essentially, these bills that they're trying to introduce, the first one, they want to mandate, well, let me tell you what it is. It's called HR 1008, and it's the Trigger Safety Act. They're trying to mandate smart guns. So what they want to do is they want to present this funding for smart gun technology, and 80% of this funding is supposed to go for new guns, so new technology, and 20%, maximum of 20% is for like retrofitting. Anyway, the whole point of this is for them to only sell smart guns. So I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing, but they're going to be trying to make every gun either like read your retina or read, your thumbprint to make sure that it's you who's using the gun, which is fucking insane. So they want to use that kind of technology, and those be the only guns. They're saying that within 5 years, those are going to be the only guns that you're going to be able to buy. And if you have an old gun, well, guess what? You better fucking retrofit that gun to make sure that it has the smart technology in that gun. And on top of that, you know who's going to pay for it? Oh, you were thinking maybe you and me that they're going to give us the bill? No. They've thought of something even smarter. They're going to send that bill to the manufacturer of your weapon. So it's going to make them basically go broke, because who can retrofit? Can you imagine that shit? Like they're telling Ford now, hey, guess what? Your Model A's, you need to go back and put airbags in them. Like, what the fuck, dude? That shit was sold in fucking 1930s. Same shit with these guns. They're going to tell Smith & Wesson, hey, that old fucking gun you made back 100 years ago, you got to fix it now. Like, this shit is purposely there to bankrupt these companies. So,
and not just that. Remember, you're going to have to send the gun out, so you're out of a gun. And you don't know when you're going to get it.
Like my producer said. He makes a lot of sense with that. Okay, so that's just that part of that bill. The other thing is the reliability is the big question. What if the technology is not reliable and you got your gun and it's not reading your fucking fingerprint and the fucking intruder's coming in through the door? You're gonna fucking throw it at him? I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, this is the more shit you put on a gun, the more things that can go wrong. That's why I bought a Glock. That's why I have a Glock, because it's very few parts. Something breaks, then you're good to go. But anyway, what's fucking really shitty about this is they keep on introducing all these new bills. So I feel that the Four Horsemen, they're fucking coming, man. They're coming. And a lot of people are saying, oh no, they're not going to pass these bills. It's just to scare you. But you know what? I'd rather be fucking scared and ready to go than be lulled to sleep and me just saying, oh, it's all just smoke and mirrors. They're not going to do anything. Fuck that shit. I'm going to fucking be prepared for this, and I'm prepared to fight back. Fuck this. We need to call our representatives and let them know how we fucking feel about this shit. Blow up their phones. Send them emails. Fucking bothering them so much that they're going to be like, all right, enough. So, and if there are any lawsuits, like, in your area, join those lawsuits to make sure that your voice is heard. Whenever they try to pass any of these bills, there's a lot of shit we can do instead of just sit back and say, well, it's just going to happen. It's going to happen. No. I mean, whatever you can do it, because once those rights are taken away, they're never coming back, man. I'm telling you, they will never bring those rights back. Okay, moving to the second gun bill. Because, it's not just one gun bill that was introduced this week. They've got another gun bill that they introduced. It almost seems like they're dissecting the HR 127, and then they're trying to put different bills that all were inside that one bill. This next one is called HR 1004. It's a government mandate for gun insurance. So this makes it a federal requirement to purchase and maintain firearm insurance. And you're like, well, that doesn't make, we probably should, blah, blah, blah. But if this right that you have is a God-given right and they mandate insurance, then at that point, it's not a right anymore. They've taken it away. They've put an additional barrier for you to be able to obtain your right. So, do you have to have insurance for your freedom of speech? I know, right? So why the fuck do you need? And you can kill people with freedom of speech too, man. I'm telling you, you could fucking. Why do you think that people get sued for, what is it, libel? I believe that's what it's called, where you can ruin somebody's fucking career and I mean, you could fuck them up pretty bad. So yes, freedom of speech also has a lot of power as well. So do we need insurance for that? But don't worry about it, because once they take your guns, then they take that one. Going back to that bill, it excludes governments and their minions, basically. So what this is going to do is it's going to set up the insurance for me and you and our producer back here. So we're all going to have to fucking have this insurance. And guess what? That cop that's fucking killing people and doing all this shit, the bad cop, because there's a lot of good cops. I'm not going to say that there isn't, because I have met them. But the bad cop, guess what? That motherfucker doesn't need insurance because he works for the government. So whatever he fucks up on, it gets put on the taxpayer. So, I mean, it's just some fucking ridiculous shit that they're trying to pass through. And to top it all off, I mean, just to put the fucking cherry on the top, a second thing to worry about with this is that each state that you live in is going to require a certain amount of liability. So if you're in California, these fucking communist motherfuckers may require a $5 million liability insurance, okay? So and if they require that, and you're like, well, I can't afford that, that's a lot of money, then, well, you're shit out of luck, because now you can't buy a gun, you can't own a gun, you can't fucking use a gun. So, and how did they do it? They didn't tell you that you can't have the gun. You could have it, but you just need to pay $5,000 for that liability insurance. So they're basically circumventing the laws of you not being able to own a gun by forcing a fucking tax on your ass. So I foresee that this is where they're going to try to push it, because there's a lot of organizations fighting for our constitutional rights, and they're just saying, okay, well, how can we get around that? Price them out of the fucking market. So I just wanted to inform you of this stuff that's happening. That's all I have for today. I want to thank you so much for joining us, and you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. If you would like to donate, please join us on Subscribestar. Thank you again from all of us here at the OTM podcast, and you have a great night.